Can you sell your pre-sale or pre-construction purchase before its completion? In this video, we'll be covering assignment and its definition. And you want to stick to the end because I will be going through some question answers that you don't want to miss. If you're here for the first time, my name is Axel Ziba. I'm a managing broker and founder at Maxit Realty. I put videos just like this one every Thursday. So I would appreciate if you find the value for this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to put comments in the comments below. What's an assignment? Or let's be more specific. What's an assignment of a contract? An assignment, as it pertains to RESA, Real Estate Services Act, is the transfer of benefits, interest, and rights, you follow me so far, under a contract from one party, the assigner, to another party, the assignee. Why people assign the contract? A buyer may want to assign their interest of the purchase of the contract to another party for many reasons. It could be registering the property under a corporation for tax or liability reasons. Could be registering the property under the name of a family member that they were not present at the time of signing the contract. It could be also because they want to make profit out of the sale. It also could be because of divorce or separation. It also could be the reason for relocation or not being able to obtain a mortgage. The purchase contract must include the following. The contract must not be signed without the seller consent. The seller is entitled to any profit from the assignment of the contract by the buyer or any subsequent assignee. And if any contract does not include any of the terms above, the seller of the property must be notified through a regulatory form. For pre-sale, as defined by REDMA, Real Estate Development Marketing Act, all developers must include the following into their contract. Any assignment without the developer's consent is prohibited. To assign your pre-sale or pre-construction unit, first and foremost, you need to seek legal advice to understand your obligation and your liabilities. It is also as important to review your agreement with the developer to understand whether the developer allows assignment and what are the fees involved. For instance, if you're a year in your contract and you decide to assign your unit, the first thing you need to do is to review your agreement with the developer to understand their terms and their charges for the fees of assignment. Some of these terms may be as follows. The developer may not allow assignment at certain time and period. For example, if you are a year within your contract, you need to review your agreement to see whether the developer allows you to assign this period or not. They may not allow you to do an assignment for the first year of the sale. Or consequently, if you are within the last 6 months of the completion estimate, the developer may not allow you to do any assignments prior to completion at a certain period of time. Another term could be to obtain a written approval and letter of authorization from a developer prior to you doing any assignment. And also, there may be some marketing terms and guidelines from the developers that you need to follow for the assignment. It is very important to understand that as an assignee or someone who signs their obligation to another person, you may still be liable for the contract you signed. To summarize, it is very important to fully understand your agreement and the contract that it's binding right now between you and the developer, and subsequently to understand the terms of the assignment and the charges and fees from the developers involved. This is the section where I go through some of the questions and I will answer these questions to the best of my knowledge. The first question is from Mark, and Mark is asking, I'm a year into my contract. How do I know if it's a good time to sell my pre-sale purchase? I want to make a profit, he says. Hi Mark, it is important to be educated in regards to the market trends, whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. And in order for you to make a profit, you need to analyze the current sales and history of sales as in terms of home price indexing, area growth, as well as dollar per square foot that is currently selling. Keep that in mind that in buyer's market, the market of course is not as active for assignments. However, if the market is suitable and you have analyzed the home price indexing, dollar per square foot, and current comparable is making sense for you to turn around and sell, go ahead and do it. And before I forget, Mark, make sure you do your end calculation. That means that you should review the agreement between you and the developer, understanding their assignment fees. Also understand and deduct your agent fees. And lastly, make sure what are the taxes and taxing liabilities involved. When it comes to taxes, that falls outside of my expertise and I cannot advise any of my clients when it comes to taxes and tax liabilities. But I do work with top professionals in that field. If you wanted to get a legal advice or you want to be connected to a professional accountant for tax advice, go to the link below, connect to me, and I'll be happy to introduce you. Lewis asked, my completion estimated date is about 4 months from now, and I want to assign my purchase. What should I do? Hi Lewis, since your completion, it falls within a few months from now, the first thing you gotta do is to make sure you review the agreement with the developers, make sure the developers allow the assignment of your unit to another party within that time frame. And Lewis, since your completion falls within a few months from now, your home is very comparable to a resale value. So make sure you get educated on the current market, as whether it's buyer's market, a seller's market, before pricing your home. It is important to price your home competitively because the buyers also, they have to tolerate the GST 5% taxes when they buy from you as a new property. I want to ask, so I assigned my contract and committed myself to another project. Now I found out that the party I assigned the contract is failing to close. Am I liable? Hi Diana, I'm not a lawyer and I cannot provide you with legal advice, but from what I can see so far, you may be liable. It is best to hire a legal advisor and understand your obligation. Linda asked, I must add my husband's name to the contract at the closing for mortgage purposes. Can I? Linda, as a real estate advisor, I always advise my clients to amend the developer's contract and add a clause to protect them for such purpose. In this case, the buyer is protected and is reserving the right to add a family member at any time in the future, specifically at the closing time. Keep in mind, adding a family member falls under assignment of a contract. It is important to review the fees and cost from the developer so there will be no surprise. Thanks for watching my video. If you find it valuable, smash and hit that like button. And better yet, since I put videos out there on a weekly basis every Thursday, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to make comments.